Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to a Cincy Fan Talking with LP. And of course, this is yours truly, LP. What's up? What's good? Had to bring it back, the cheering feels great. All right, cut that out. Hey, what's good, y'all? What's up? What's going on, y'all? Happy to be back. Happy to be back podding. Appreciate everybody coming through, stopping past, showing love, making sure I'm good, making sure I'm getting through the school year straight, making sure the family's straight. Definitely appreciate that. Hey, you got a Cincy fan talking. Feeling like I might be talking a lot on this one. Hey, I'm freezing. It was just 60 something in the Natty like a couple of days ago. Now it's bitter cold outside. I mean, the hawk is out biting. Whoo! It's not a game out here. Winter crept up and put us all in a chokehold super fast. I don't know. Global warming is the realest. It gotta be. Anybody saying it's not, y'all wilding out for real. And then I heard it's gonna be 60 something on Friday. How? How, Sway? Like, you ain't got the answer, Sway. It's crazy. But hey, we blessed, We here, we kicking it. Got a lot to discuss, a whole lot to discuss. And I'm doing this. I thought I'd be like, twitching and shaking in the whole nine because no ESPN. Fool me. I've been up here touting the excellence of YouTube TV, putting all my homies on, letting them know like, hey, YouTube TV got this, YouTube TV got that. Actually converted some people, made a quick little buck towards YouTube TV, referrals and whatnot. They making me look like a fool. They've yanked all of the ABC channels, all of the Disney channels. Craziness. Now, to be honest, if this had happened a few years ago and I'm missing Snowfall because of this nonsense, looky here. We have us some issues. Hey, shout out to all the homies that came through and helped me find some alternative methods to watch my favorite shows. Shout out to all y'all. A lot of people gave me the same app. a lot of people gave me the same info, but it's real. Works perfectly. So I'm not really out here hating. But I will say this though. It's greed. It's that whole Lil Wayne thing. Too much money ain't enough money. It's what they own right now. You can't get me to side with YouTube TV or Disney. They're both wrong. How much money is enough? Am I crazy for saying that? How much more money do you need out of us? I mean, really, it's hard for me to feel some type of way and feel bad about any of the people in this picture. You got billionaires arguing against billionaires. And in the end, we're going to end up getting charged more anyway. And I think what they all need to understand, and I tweeted this too, they need to understand that we're going to find a way to make it shake. With or without cable, streaming, we're going to find a way to make it happen. It's 2025. If people are really out here thinking that we're not going to see ESPN games or games on Disney Plus or whatever, if you really think we're not, are you crazy? And that's the thing about my generation, us Gen X people. And I feel the same way about the millennials as well. We're those generations that had a foot in like the Stone Age where I remember a time where TV really went off the air at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And if you turned on your TV, there was static or that weird white and red and orange and yellow line on your TV going like, dude. And I know some of y'all feel me on that. If you stayed up too long, you really woke up to that. So I'm from that time. And now I'm at a time where TV never goes off. There's always something on television. And it's easy for somebody like me to adapt to it because from where I came from, I've always experimented with television. I've always been like, okay, what does this work? How does this work? If I do this, like we grew up rigging pay TV boxes. That was really what we did. Trying to watch the fights, trying to watch Royal Rumble or something like that. So to tell somebody like us, yeah, you're not going to be able to see your favorite show. Come on. Really? And it's really a matter of, will YouTube TV and Disney, will they play it right and put the channels on at some point? If not, we can lose them all. I don't really need YouTube TV fully to watch the stuff I want to watch. Not for real. I pay all the money to YouTube TV really for the convenience, for real. Because sometimes I just don't feel like using 4 or 5 different streaming channels to see my stuff on Saturdays. But I will if I have to. I mean, I don't mind saving money. If I got to work a little bit harder, save an extra buck, I do that. And I really think the YouTube TV and Disney are overplaying their hands. I really feel like that. I think they feel like they got us by the ankles, like we can do what we want. You need us. Dude, like I keep saying, it's 2025. We really don't need you like we think we do. Not for real. So I'm just saying. But y'all really did play me YouTube TV. I got me looking crazy in front of my homies. Do something. Fix the nonsense. So I'm out and about in my Cincinnati Bengals hoodie, rocking my Cincinnati Bengals hat, rocking my black and orange shoes. You know, just out and about. People giving me not even messed up, dirty looks. People giving me sad looks out here, y'all. Just shaking their head like, It's a shame to be a Bengals fan. That's how they looking at me. And I'm looking like, yeah. It's messed up. And I purposely didn't really think about shooting the podcast off the week before last or last week because I was curious as to what was going to happen. So I could really get off what I wanted to get off about the Bengals because I've been feeling like this for a very long time. And the Bengals pretty much proved it. More than anything, it's the lack of accountability. Because the Bengals don't hold people accountable for what's going on, we're going to keep seeing the same thing. I mean, you can hear some of the players trying to do that. Chase Brown went off. Jamar Chase was this close to going off. And it's like, let me pull back, Let me chill. But the best teams, the best companies in real life, the best schools in real life, the best relationships in real life, they all have one crucial thing in common, y'all. And it's the fact that they hold people around them accountable for what they do and what they don't do. All good teams do it. All good relationships do it. All good schools do it. Real talk. Take somebody successful that works at a successful place and they're around successful leaders and stuff like that. And you'll see very quickly that people are held accountable for what goes on. If they're supposed to do a job and they don't do it, they're going to hear about it. It might be in a public forum. Maybe it's in a private forum. But either way, you're going to hear about it. And if it keeps happening, Changes are going to get made. People understand this. People don't get upset about it because they're like, it's part of the job. It's part of the game. If I don't do my job, I expect my superior to let me know flat out. Hey, yo, LP, what's up with these scores? Do you need something from us? Do you need more oversight? Do you need more supplies? Do you need us to put you on a plan or something like that to kind of help you get to where you need to be? Because the scores are unacceptable. I would expect to hear that. And I would have a plan in place because I know my superiors expect that. But, my bad, y'all. But if I'm at a place where I'm not being held to those expectations, two things are going to happen. One, what may happen is that since I'm a professional, I'm going to hold myself accountable and I'm going to do what I need to do to make sure that I'm performing at the highest standard. That's if I've been in the game for a while. Like, this is I'm in the middle year 18. I'm going to do that regardless. But let's say I'm a rookie and I'm noticing that admin isn't holding me accountable for what I do. Guess what? I'm learning the game from the people that's been here. And if I'm not getting held accountable and I'm able to slide with the trash work I'm doing, guess what I'm going to keep doing? Yep, trash work. There was a episode of The Wire where Lieutenant Daniels was talking to Carver after he found out Carver had he was basically snitching to the bosses upstairs about what was going on. And Daniels broke it down to him. He was like, look, one day you're going to be leading a unit. And that unit's going to have a lot of people in it. It's going to have good people. It's going to have bad people. It's going to have some trash people in it. But they're all looking at direction from you. And if you play it straight up, they'll play it straight up. If it's about the work, it'll be about the work. If you try to run some BS hustle, they're going to run a BS hustle because they're all taking their direction from you. Honestly, that's like one of the main quotes that kind of helped me in teaching with the kids. I play it straight up. I don't cuss around the kids. I make sure I'm professional around the kids. We'll joke and play around and all that, but I make sure everybody's getting treated with respect because they're all watching me. And if I do that, they're going to have to do that. But if I don't, they won't. And the first thing they say when they get in trouble will be, well, my teacher do it. How can you argue with that? That's what's happening with the Bengals. Like, if you really look at it, you have the defense doing the same things, playing the same way, making the same mistakes every single freaking week. That's the frustrating part. For me, being an educator and helping other people learn, I tell the kids straight up. I'm like, look, if you do this question 8 times and make a different mistake 8 times, what that's telling me is I need to help you figure out how not to make those mistakes because you're listening to me. You're doing what I said right, but you're messing something else up. If I got a kid that's making the same mistake over and over and over and over again, I got to switch my approach. I have to. I got to get somebody else in here to teach it differently. I got to get a kid to demonstrate it. I don't know. But I can't keep doing the same thing if a kid is making the same mistake. The Bengals are making the same mistakes every single week. And if there was accountability, here's what we would see. We would see a new starting lineup. And I feel like we're seeing that a little bit. You're getting the rookie LBs in there, stuff like that. But we would see that more and more and more. We would see coaching changes. Maybe you don't get Al Golden out the paint because you just started to pay him. But, I don't know. Maybe you take the defensive backs coach and go like, you know what? You running this week. Accountability, people, because you can't let this slide. You can't keep letting the same thing happen. And that's really the one thing that's angering me. Like, and when I say anger, relatively speaking, it'll never be that deep for me to be breaking TV. Come on. Y'all know me at this point. This episode one, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to do the 6-7 thing. We'll talk about that in a second. But for me, it's the part that makes it maddening to watch the Bengals week after week. When you see them making the same mistakes, 3rd and 6. Let's sit in the zone. Let's play 8 yards off the line of scrimmage, even though the first down is 6 yards away. Oh, look, they just threw it right in front of us, first down. Let's keep driving. Oh, boy, what are we doing? I feel like that's the one thing that's stopping the Bengals from being not even great, good, average. The offense is out here balling. Low key, the offensive line is doing a thing. We're not noticing it because the defense is playing absolute trash, but that old line is giving Joe Flacco a lot of time. Can't even call him Wacko Flacco no more, y'all. Like, I gotta straight up call him Joe Flacco, which is weird for me. If the Bengals start holding people accountable, if the Bengals realize that fear is a major motivating factor for people sometimes, fear of losing a job, fear of not being able to start. And it's not like I'm scared you're going to cut me. It's more like I'm watching you. I'm not going to sit up here and yell and scream and shout at you, but I'm watching what you do. And if I feel like somebody can come in and do it better and you're not, we're going to make that move. But if I let you get complacent and go like, I'm going to give you 19 million times to mess up, I'm not sending anybody in there for you. People just tend to get lax. It's human nature. And you have to be a true professional to fight that. You got to be in the game for a while. You have to want to be great to be able to fight through a lack of accountability. Like you really do. Remember I said that. In any stretch of life, if there's a lack of accountability, either people are going to fall short because nobody's pushing them, or you're going to see a few people rise to the top because they're pushing themselves. The Bengals don't really have a lot of people that's there pushing themselves. They're too young. The coaching staff has to do it for them. Right now, that's not happening. So, me, myself, I'm kind of using what the Bengals are doing and flipping it in reverse. And I'm making sure I'm holding my kids accountable for what they do in my classroom. We're not letting stuff ride just because, I don't feel like enforcing that rule today. Nah, no hats. What you doing with your hat on? Nuh-uh. We're not doing that. Man, nah. And if you see me letting somebody do that, let me know. I got you. It's not going to happen. I don't know. The Bengals are 3-6. For me, they got to win the next 3. I mean, at least 3 out of the next 4, I say. But real talk, it's looking bad. 3-6 is not the place you want to be, especially 2 heartbreaking losses. Man, let's talk about FCC. FCC. Yeah, I've been really getting into soccer. It helps when you have like a product that's really good. So for my people that don't know, Cincinnati and Columbus have this huge rivalry in soccer. It's called the Hell is Real Derby. Where they get that name from, you ask? It is really funny to me because I've been looking at this sign for decades, going up and down 71, taking the kid to class, to Ohio State, moving from Columbus to Cincinnati like umpteen times. In between Cincinnati and Columbus, there are these religious signs. And one of them says, Hell is real. It's like in big red and black letters. You cannot miss it. That's where the name came from because it's in the middle of Cincinnati and Columbus. It's the perfect name for a rivalry between Cincinnati and Columbus. Now, I'll keep it a buck. Wasn't really an avid soccer fan until we got a team that was good when they were in like USL and stuff like that, the minor league soccer, they moved up. I gotta get to a game, y'all. The atmosphere is ridiculous. They have this thing that when they do, the supporters, they start from like Clifton. Cincinnati is basically a city of hills. Like I spent my childhood walking up and down hills in Cincinnati. That's pretty much what you do. It is like one of the hilliest cities in the nation. You can't really go nowhere without walking up or down a hill. I lived on like a super steep hill growing up. It was so steep that the snow plows wouldn't even come down our street because they couldn't get back up the street. So we had to fend for ourselves. Like we was fighting for our life digging out. Like like it was a wild experience. So they pretty much start from like the top of the hill, close to the University of Cincinnati campus, and then they walk all the way down to the stadium, chanting and stuff like that. Pretty much like 30, 35 minutes before game time. It's a crazy experience. I mean, those fans, they go absolutely nuts. Like I've seen passionate football fans, I've seen passionate baseball and basketball fans. They have nothing on passionate soccer fans. I mean, they up there with the cowbells ringing and like they do it big. I gotta get to a game. I didn't think that SEC will pull off the win in the playoffs just because I'm a Cincinnati sports fan. And I'm pretty much used to getting my heart broke in the playoffs. But they pulled it off. They won game three in comeback fashion, which was crazy for a Cincinnati fan. Once they scored the first goal, we're all like, yeah, we're out. It's over with. Cincinnati curse once again. You can check out one of my super old episodes where I talked about the Cincinnati curse was real. I go back and forth now. I said it wasn't real way back then. I don't know now. Like, I really don't. But they really pulled it off. I'm excited to see Messi come to town and see if we can like beat them too. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. I will say they have the full support of the city of Cincinnati. We need a winner. We need a winner. That's what made us so hype about the Reds making the playoffs. That's what made us so hype about the Bengals winning the Super Bowl. Just to have that winner. Just so we can say somebody broke the curse. Somebody got us a title. Haven't seen one since 1990. So MLS counts. Forget what you heard. If they win that title, we throwing the parade. We there. Like we all gonna rep that. So go FCC. A little bit late on the World Series because I haven't potted in a while, but that was one of the best World Series I've seen in a minute. It gave me like those old school 92, 93 Toronto, Philadelphia, Phillies vibes. When Joe Carter hit the grand slam, not the grand slam, but the home run at the end to win it in game seven, it gave me those vibes. Shout out to LA for winning it. And if you notice, I just got to put this out there real quick about baseball because that's like my first love before basketball and football took over. But as a kid, I was like a huge baseball fan. There wasn't any frills to this World Series. It wasn't all the stuff that people talked about, the quote unquote liven up the game. None of that golden bat stuff where somebody can come up to bat whenever they want to, even if they already batted in the order. None of that a ghost man on second BS in the extra innings. They just played it straight. Baseball is it's a beautiful game. Like it really is. People call it boring. People say nothing really happens. Blah blah blah. The intricacies of the game are absolutely awesome. The only thing baseball really needs is a salary cap. Like, if you laughing at me for saying that, like, really think about it. Like, is it really cool to have a team like LA spending billions and billions of dollars in the same stratosphere as a team like a Milwaukee or a Cincinnati or Kansas City or Cleveland or Tampa Bay. Like, it really doesn't make sense. And what it does is it makes it look like those teams that spend the most money are just buying a championship. And it really doesn't work like that, because you can spend as much money as you need to or want to, and it still might not work out. It's a 162 game season. Like, it really is. Anything can happen. So, MLB, think about it, because I know y'all listen to the pod too. I see y'all creeping. Maybe not. Nah, forget that. Like, let's speak it into existence. I see you out there looking. Get a salary cap. You see what it did to the parity of NFL, right? You have teams that are in last place one year, shoot up to first place the next year, then shoot back down to last place the next year, then shoot back up to first place the next year. It's that salary cap. Everybody's living pretty equal. So think about it. This damn 6-7 stuff. Let me get a comfortable spot for this. Let me break it down. Let me break it on down. This whole 6-7 thing. Now, to be real, this is something I heard way back in March, April. Because there was this one kid in class, he just kept going like 6-7, do. I'm like, hey man, what you talking about? It's this song, Mr. Parker. It's this song. I'm like, all right. So Apple Music, hit it up. I'm like, this is the worst song I've ever heard. I talked to this kid the next day. I'm like, you listen to this? This is the worst song I've ever heard. There's no beat. There's literally no beat. This is dumb. I just like saying 6-7. And then the whole class was like, yeah, 6-7. Paid it no, never mind. Time goes on. And now it's all we hear. I think it's hilarious. Like, I try to act like I don't like it to make the kids, keep saying it because it's funny to me. But I had to break it down to the kids. I'm like, because they were saying it like, it makes you mad, doesn't it? It makes all our teachers mad. I just kind of shrugged my shoulders. And they're like, you like it? I'm like, I don't like it, but I don't care. And I was kind of telling them, like, you guys don't know how much I've been through. And they're like, what? Like, you don't understand. I've been through so much as a teacher. You know how many fads I've been through? I've been through the 21. I've been through that fad. When 21 Savage was like super big. I've been through the what's 9 plus 10? 21. I went through that. I went through POP, hold it down. Mama, I love you. I'm legally blind. I went through that. Look, man, I went through why you always lying. I went through that. Countless memes and quotes that people thought would never go away. They all end up going away. And I tell the teachers all the time, I'm like, just ride the wave. Just ride the wave. This is stuff that these kids that we're teaching, they're going to write in their yearbook senior year. Remember we used to say that stupid 6-7 thing all the time? You remember that? That's what they're going to do. They're going to look at themselves and go like, dude, we were freaking idiots. You know how dumb we sounded? Let them have that. Trust me. It goes, the look, when I first started teaching, like my first year, phones, I can't believe I'm dating myself like this. Cell phones had minute cards. Because you could talk on your phone unlimited in the evenings and on the weekends. But Monday through Friday, from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m., you needed to have minutes on your phone, unless you had an unlimited minute plan, which meant you were absolutely balling in life. You did everything right, champ. But normally, especially with the kids, they had minute cards. So when the boys wanted to be disrespectful to girls, what they would say is, they would say, she go hard for a minute card. And they would just run around class, she go hard for a minute card. And my first fight that I ever had to break up was because a boy told a girl, that's why you go hard for a minute card. And the girl dove over the table and tried to choke this man. Tried to choke him. I had to break him up. I had to split him out. What you doing? He tried to call me a hoe. And I'm like, that's what that means? Yeah. He said, I go hard for a minute card. And I'm like, so they've been walking around my classroom calling people like prostitutes? I'm like, revelation. That's where I'm coming from. That's from whence I come. It's been 18, 19 years of people riding a wave or whatever it's funny to say to try to irritate the teacher. Like beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes. Like there's been so many things. To my people out there, don't let it get you down. Like what I do is whenever I'm doing an example on the board, since I teach math and I hear 6, 7 the most, trust me on this. What I do is when I'm doing examples, I purposefully put 6, 7 in the example just so they can say it. And they go like, we caught you. And I'm like, yeah, I did that on purpose. That's no fun. I know, right? So now I'm not hearing 6, 7 as much. My entire team, like my teacher team, we all bought shirts on Amazon that say 6, 7 with the hand gesture on the bottom. And we all wore them to school. Dude. I think that's the only 6, 7 mistake that I've made. That's the only 6, 7 mistake that I've really made, because nobody got any work done on that Friday, because all you heard the kids screaming was 6, 7, 6, 7. And all the other teachers are looking at us like, why did y'all do this? And we're looking like, it'll never happen again, because like ever. Like I still got kids. We did that like a week and a half ago. I still got kids walking up to me like, hey, 6, 7. And if you go get this shirt, ladies, be careful, because the way the hands are like on the shirt kind of make it look like somebody's holding your boobs up. My wife pointed that out, and I'm like, yeah, it's gonna suck for the ladies. I'm like, should I tell them? She's like, nah, let them figure that out. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's a them problem. You absolutely correct. So, in conclusion, teachers, grown-ups, just ride the wave. For real. It's okay. One more thing. Because, like, I'm still thinking about, like, from whence I came and all the stuff I had to, like, ride out. This is probably one of the most ridiculous. And for all you people that's out there thinking about teaching middle school, this is what you got to put up with. So listen close. One year, there was, this is some BS, man. Like it really is. There was this group of about 5 or 6 boys, and nobody could figure out who they were for like a long time. And I finally cracked the code. They called themselves the Wang Gang. It's exactly what it sounds like. They went around drawing wangs on every surface they possibly could. It would be on desks. It would be on walls. It would be in the bathroom. It would be in the library. It would be on other people's test papers. And they would say, I didn't do this. Who did it? Come on, give it up. And it took us a long time to figure out what happened. And the whole running joke was when somebody's desk got tagged, they would yell, I got wanged. I just got wanged. And we had to hear that for the entire year until I figured out who was doing it. And these goofy little boys. We just wanted to start something, so we just started the Wayne game. I don't know why we did it. I bet you don't know. This is the 6'7" is not that bad in comparison to like all the stuff that could be happening. Like 6'7" is the least of our worries. Like I gotta move on. Just thinking about it, like it make me angry that I'm laughing so hard at it. Like I would have to cover my face up because I was laughing so hard at the kids going like, "I got Wayne! I can't believe I got Wayne!" Like, shut up! Like, whoo. Hey yo, before I ride out, a couple of things. Number one, congrats to Outcast. Like, congrats to Outcast. It's one of those. It's one of those things where it's like you found something a long, long time ago, and you rode with that something, even though sometimes everybody else kind of looked at you like that's who you rock with, and you rode through that, and everybody finally saw what you saw. That's what I feel like with Outkast. I've been riding with Outkast music since '93, not '94, '93, because their first single came out in '93, and it was a Christmas album. It was a Christmas song, Players Ball. It was actually a Christmas song. If you listen close, you can hear the jingles and everything, like in the beat. And if you listen to the lyrics, they're talking about what happens around Christmas in Atlanta back in '93, '94. LaFace Records was like, hey, we got to get y'all on. And they took that and they turned it into their first single. A little history lesson for people that didn't know. I was hoping y'all did know, but just in case. I've been rocking with Outkast since then. The first album was fire. I think the second album was some of their greatest work. AT Aliens, a lot of people jumped off the Outkast bandwagon. And if you're a true Outkast fan, I know you feel me. It was a lot of people that wasn't messing with Outkast after that second album. And it made the third album so fire because Outkast was like, you know what? They really think we're not like that. Like, that entire album just felt like an F you watch this. Like, if you just listen to the beginning, like the first skit, where dudes like, I ain't messing with Outkast no more. I ain't messing with them. First they some pimps, now they some aliens. Now what? Like, we ain't rocking with them no more. It's like that whole album was just like, watch this. And it was Aquemini like, it's like one of my top five albums, any genre. I'll put that album in the top five. It is it's that good. If you haven't heard it, what's wrong with you? And then download it on whatever you listen to and enjoy. It's one of those, there's not a bad song. There's not. It's beautiful music. And they just got better and they got more eclectic. And you saw two people who were super different come together and make some awesome music. And I felt like I was there from the beginning. And Andre 3000 said something that was super dope on his acceptance speech. He was like, he started talking and you could see him break down a little bit because he was like, back when we first started, and then he paused and you kind of see him bite his lip. And it's one of those moments where you as a person, you start thinking back to where you are now and all the stuff you had to do to get to where you are right now. And that kind of hit me a little bit. Like, I won't say I got misty, but when I started thinking about it, I just started sitting back and going like, damn. Like, me as a person, I'm doing exactly what I want to do in my life. That always surprises the kids when I tell them that. They're like, what did you want to be when you grew up? I say, a teacher. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm living the dream right now. And I think about everything that happened to get me to this point. And I think about what Nipsey Hussle said. He was like, the only difference between me and a lot of other people is that I didn't quit. And I went through every emotion. Like I went through every emotion. That's how I felt. And I feel like that's how Andre 3000 felt. To get to where you want to go, you have to do things you never thought you would do. You have to do things that you never done before. You have to count on people. You have to fail. Then you have to fail. And then you have to fail. And he was like, a lot of great things happen in small rooms. And I thought about that and I'm like, that's dope. That's real. Like for anybody out there that's like struggling, going through it, I definitely feel you. I mean, to get to this point, I mean, I didn't think I would be at this point 2 years ago. I mean, and it's still a struggle. There's still some days where I kind of go like, I don't really feel like doing nothing. like I really don't. I just rather sit here and just be in my feelings. Like sometimes I really think about that. And then I think about all the stuff I had to do just to get to this point. And that's kind of like more motivation. So shout out to Outkast. Shout out to the acceptance speech too, because it's just one of those things that make you sit back and really, really respect your journey. I mean, somebody told me a long time ago when I first started coaching, they was like, you won't remember the wins and losses. Well, he said, you'll remember the losses more than the wins. Especially if you don't lose a lot, you're going to remember every loss. And he was like, then you're not going to remember like certain plays or like certain seasons. You're going to remember all the little stuff. You're going to remember the journey. You're going to remember how you put together the team. The stuff that happened on the bus. The funny things that happened on road trips. The time where you beat a team and you had to tell your entire team, like, and the coaches, like, look, we're not getting dressed. As soon as the buzzer's down, we're going to the bus. Make sure the bus driver there. We're going to the bus. We're not stopping. We shaking hands and we getting on the bus. You see them out there? They not happy. We out of here. Like, and it's scary at the time. When you thinking about it, it's scary at the time. But looking back on it, you go like, dang, remember little man fell like right when he was about to get on the bus, and you could see the crowd just kind of walking up on him, and we had to drag him on the bus. Hey, it wasn't funny at the time. It was not funny, but man, it just make you reminisce on like certain things and certain parts of your life. So that's kind of all the stuff I was thinking about watching Outkast up there, because I feel like Outkast was like, I'm not gonna go wild with it and say like they were a part of my life. Like I don't know about all that, but I feel like Outkast will be like one of the soundtrack. Like if my life was played as a soundtrack, there would be a lot of Outkast music, a lot of it, because that's what I was on, and that's what the vibe was for me. So shout out to Outkast, Hall of Famers. It's wild to say, Hall of Famers. All right, so before we head out, uh, I was supposed to go ahead and review Life of a King. Had some issues with the feed I was watching it on. Couldn't hear half of it, so I got to get back to y'all on that one. So YouTube suggested I catch Lean on Me. I'm like, YouTube, y'all don't know me like that. So I go ahead and rewatch it again. But I already knew how I felt about it. I wasn't going to review this for a while, but since we're here, I can probably do this in like 3 or 4 minutes for real. Lean on Me is not a classic, not for me. A lot of people go like it's one of the best teacher movies, this, that, and the third. When I watch Lean on Me, what I think is I would have quit. Like, as a teacher, I would have quit a while ago. Like, we have a hard enough job to do as it is. Like, teaching is tough. The expectations are way too high, and they should be because we got people's babies in our classroom. We want them to be successful. So we have expectations. And then we raise those expectations. But depending on the background of kids that you have, their expectations might not be the same as yours. So you have to build them up so that they hit those expectations or at least want to hit them. But you may have a group of kids that don't really care about your expectations. What do you do then? The lean on me guy was like, you know what? I'm just going to blame the teachers. What? And then the way he was talking to the teacher, good Lord. Hey, whew. My man, Mr. Green, Eric LaSalle, he was about to pancake somebody, and I don't blame him. I mean, it's one of those movies where you understand the heart of the principal, like you get where he's coming from and how bad he wants the kids to be successful. But to yell at the teachers like that, to blame them for all of the problems of the kids, I mean, and the disturbing part for Lean On Me, for me, is that you have a lot of admin feeling like that's how they have to run a school. That's not how you run a school. Like, if you want to change the climate of a school, you can't go and berating teachers like that. You can't. It doesn't work. It works in the movies. And that's what I hate about a lot of these teacher movies. They're not realistic. I don't feel like Lean On Me is realistic. I know they said it's based on a true story. And then you look at the real story and go like, dude, I've been duped. I've been played, bamboozled. Like for real. Because the school ended up being taken over by the state the very next year. Like they hit the scores that one year, and then the next year they didn't. They fell back down, and the school got taken over by the state anyway. So it's like, what are you selling me? What is this flash in the pan thing you're selling me? There was a lot of inaccuracies with the movie compared to the real story. I'll drop that another time. But for me, the main takeaway is one, a lot of teachers are still being treated like that today. And it's because of the whole Disney World, this is how you run a school type deal. That's not how you do it. So for one, a lot of teachers still being treated like that. For two, dude, I've been in some bad schools. I've been in some terrible schools. Like the first school I ever subbed at, like the gang fights were real. Like like they really were. It was a rough neighborhood, gangs everywhere, and it still didn't look as bad as it looked in the beginning of Lean On Me. I mean, they got Welcome to the Jungle playing. Welcome to the Jungle. They got that blasting. You got a teacher getting mopped up in the getting mopped up in the cafeteria. Carried him out on the stretcher. They locking fools up in lockers. They selling dope out the back. Like, come on. Come on, man. Really? It was that bad? Really? Like I said, I've been in some terrible schools. I've never, even with the schools where you have to like wind in with the metal detectors, even with those schools, it never, maybe they that raw in Jersey. Maybe it's that raw where Welcome to the Jungle plays on the loudspeakers. I don't know. I just feel like those two things. I feel like it wasn't realistic, and I feel like it's sad that teachers still get treated like that. Entertainment wise, though, it's decent, which is why I give it a 5 out of 10 because the entertainment value is decent. The kids seem realistic, which is a big plus for me when it comes to watching these movies because sometimes they just cast like 90-year-olds to play 18-year-olds. For real though, it'll be like 26-year-old people playing 15-year-old kids. Where they do that at? Like some handsome face Squidward pop out looking 35. I'm a junior. You a junior, cuz? So overall, I feel like the teachers felt realistic. I thought the kids felt realistic. And it's one of those where it has like a whole lot of quotables, and you can't beat Morgan Freeman playing anything. Like the way he puts his heart into every role, you can't beat that. That's why I give it a 5 out of 10. But if we're talking like as far as what I want to see in a teacher movie, dude, every time he yelled at the teachers, I would just go like, "Yo, get him off my screen." Because I really had some admin trying to come at teachers in meetings like that, and I just kind of be looking like, "You scaring somebody? You scaring us? Is that what we doing? We scaring you scaring the same teachers you expect to implement your program? Make it make sense." Yeah, that'll happen. 5 out of 10 for me. And I know some people like really for lean on me. That's one of my. If that's one of your favorites, that's cool. But for me as a teacher, miss me with the yelling because it doesn't work. This was a long one. Yeah, I usually don't go this long in time with the recordings, but I felt like I had a lot to say, so I just kind of wanted to get that out. Hey, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Make sure you check me out, cause I'll be here. Hope y'all appreciate everything. We're gonna go ahead and ride out. Life is good. See y'all.